Welcome, everyone. We are Women of the World, and we're so excited to connect with you today. Where are you joining from? Let us know. Use that comment section.
Hi everybody, my name is Ayumi and I'm from Tokyo, Japan. Ohayo minna.
Hi, everybody. My name is Giorgia Renoston. I'm from Torino, Italy.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Devo Ray here, coming to you from Boston, Massachusetts.
And I'm Annette Phillip from Kerala, India. And we also want to introduce and thank a very, very dear friend of ours, Rohit Jairaman. We want you to join us. Rohit is an
Hey, hey.
incredible musician, and he's been so kind to help Women of the World for all of our past shows. We couldn't do it this without you. Love you, Rohit. Most importantly, our audience from all over the world, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here today, especially considering the time zones. If this is your first time attending a Knock Knock Wow concert, welcome. And if you're returning for the second or the fifth time, we're so grateful.
Mm, I would like to share a little background. This is Women of the World fifth Knock Knock concert. When lockdown happened, everyone was isolated. So Knock Knock is about visiting each other's home, sharing stories and feeling connected.
Over the last few months, however, knock knock took on a different meaning. It became knock knock. It's time to wake up. There's so much going on around us that we need to be aware of, educate ourselves about, and to act upon as a community. The four of us in Women of the World have been doing our own course of study, research, discussion, debate, and learning really about racism, Black history in the United States and globally, as well as the Black Lives Matter movement.
And so, for these last 3 months, we dedicated our online Knock Knock concert series to amplify Black voices. And today, we present our third in the Black Voice Amplified series. And, we realized that we have this platform as women of the world, and we can take a stand on these issues. And by studying about it, we finally understood that the gravity of the situation, it's really huge, and there is a call to action like never before.
Yes, and so now Women of the World is taking this opportunity to showcase different nuances of Blackness. Like, we recognize that Blackness is not a singular trait, and as such, depending from where you're from, your experience with Blackness might be a little different.
Yes, and living most of my life in Japan, I realized facing different races and ethnicity was not so common in our daily lives. But that's also changing these days. My wish is to continue studying about history and culture and share what I learned to my own Japanese community.
Conversation really is the key in our communities to bring any kind of change. When you have an open conversation, you get exposed to different perspectives that over time can help you break down patterns in your own thought process, which is exactly what our show is all about.
And so, with our Black Voices Amplified series, we want to bring you stories. We want to talk about history. We want to learn from each other's personal experiences. We want to share the many faces of Blackness. We want to grow to be a more open and also free world. How to create that, how to create a more just world, a more kind world. Because this is someone's story, and therefore it's our collective story.
Before we start, we have a few important questions we'd love for you to keep in mind. Feel free to write the answers and share them with us in the chat if you feel comfortable. What do I think, firstly? What do I think a Black artist sounds like? What do I know of Black culture that I really enjoy? When I hear the word Black, what images come to mind? And is there something about Blackness that makes me uncomfortable? We'll come back to reflect on these questions at the end of our concert.
Our hope with Knock Knock is not only to showcase incredible artists, but also to support them in all ways possible. Here are some ways you can support artists. We cannot see you, but we can read your comments, and they help lift the energy of our show. So write those questions you have or how you feel about the music during the entire show anytime. follow their artist pages on social media, and donate to their PayPal accounts. You'll see a ticker below their video. So let's support.
And for Women of the World, our Knock Knock concerts are indeed a passion project.
That's right. We invest our own funds in each concert because we feel this is an important cause. And we're excited to use our platform to celebrate Black artists from all over the world.
So, in order for us to continue doing this work, we do need your support. From our last show, we put out a call to the global Women of the World family, and our promise was that anyone who kindly donated more than $20 to the WOW PayPal would get a special shout out during our Knock Knock concert. We had several donors last time. Drita, I'm looking at you, as well as Lauren Madden.
As well as Nitish Bharadwaj and Sunny Rodriguez. And this week, we want to thank our new donors for the show.
Yes, so a very special shout out to John Talone or Taloni. Thank you so much, John.
Yeah, John!
Thank you.
We're so grateful to each one of you. And anyone else who would like to donate and to support this work, you will see our PayPal in the ticker as well as in the chat right now.
And during the show, you'll also see every single artist's PayPal account on the screen too at the bottom. We believe that this is important because many artists have lost their main source of income due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
And so while we literally have no idea when live performance will be back, music is not canceled. Music is alive and well. So, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the show.
Yay.
And first up, a huge welcome to Kenton Lee, joining us all the way from South Africa.
Learn to love yourself. You open the door to loving everyone else. A better me is a better you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Wonder where you are in the garden of this insanity. I'm digging in the dark. Maybe it's a start. I just needed to plant the seed, but it's harder from where I stand. I told you I'm all in. Said you always meet me there. Been waiting since morning. You're like, my Cinderella, baby, my Cinderella. Yeah. You make me love, you make me love, you make me love you, but you turn and walked away. I wish your love would stay. You make me love you, make me love you, you make me love you. You're my wonderland like Atlas, but you threw it all away. Yeah. Threw it all away, yeah. Threw it all away, yeah. Threw it all away, yeah. Then the rain showers like a million miles an hour and washed it all right out, yeah. I believe in love's power. I was screaming on the mountain, hoping you would hear me, but it's harder from where I stand. I told you I'm all in. Said you always meet me there, yeah. Been waiting since morning. My Cinderella, my Cinderella. Hey, you make wonderland like Alice, but you threw it all away. Yeah. Threw it all away, yeah. Threw it all away, yeah. Threw it all away, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that song is called Alice. Thank you so much. We'll be releasing that song next year. And right about now, this is my very first release single called Echo. It's available on all DSPs, so please download it and let me know what you think. Here we go. Hey! Every time I close my eyes, I begin to fantasize. All the times that you were mine. We need to make it right again. We need to build and fight again. You're my best friend. Promise it'll never end. I need to work on myself. I blame it on me. What could it mean? What it used to be. But it all was just a dream. Just some kind of fantasy. Only in a magazine. Your love is like gravity. Do we need to make it right morning sunlight, wake up to a pillow fight. I will laugh, you will bite. Can we live it again? Cherish every moment. Second chances, love ascensions. Can be a man with your consent. And I will work on myself. Your love is so pure. I was insecure. You deserve so much more. But it all was just a dream. Just some kind of fantasy. Only in a magazine. Your love is like gravity. Do we need to make it right? Never, never let go. Then love bounce back like an echo. When I say yeah, oh, I say yeah, yeah. Then love bounce back like an echo. Gonna burn, gonna burn, gonna burn out. Gonna burn out. Gonna burn out. Oh my love. Gonna burn, burn out. Gonna burn out. Gonna burn out. Oh my love. Maybe in another life. Maybe say we would fuss and fight. Give it up and never try. We gonna do our best though. This is my conquest though. It's your love I possess so. Shine let it echo. Na na na. Na 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 na. Do we need to make it right again? Never, never let go. And love bounce back like an echo. When I say yeah, yo, I say yeah, yeah. And love bounce back like an echo. Burn out, burn out. Gonna burn out, burn out. All my love. Gonna burn out. Gonna burn out. Gonna burn out. All my love. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Woohoo! Yeah, Kenton!
Thank you.
Yes.
So good.
Thank you so much.
The vibe.
Oh, so good, so good, so good, so
Must have glad you guys enjoyed.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't hear Georgia. Georgia's saying something. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay,
Gio, you've got to
sorry.
unmute
I
yourself.
muted myself. I was so excited, and I was like, look, 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 look. So, Kenton, thank you so much. Thank
you.
You know, it's only 3 weeks that we know each
Yes.
other. Thanks to Drita.
Thank you,
again.
Drita.
Our angel. And first of all, I really wanted to thank you because we know that you are 6 hours ahead of us. And that means that it's almost
Yes.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
If I'm not,
insane.
It
so thank you so much for being live with us all the way from
Thank
South
you.
Africa. And so we had the chance to talk to each other
Right.
prior to the show. And you mentioned that your personal journey is about forgiving the past and forgiving yourself. But for most people, it's very hard to go from being discriminated against and forgiving others and treating them lovely. So we would like to understand what was your journey getting to that place, that loving place.
It's a great question, and I think the answers come from so many different places, and I guess that the answer for myself came with a personal journey of discovering my place in the world, of music, my ambitions, and how to get from A to B within my career and within my journey. So the hunt began, and I think that I found myself through personal developments, through a process of just understanding. I mean, I think a lot of us have been on that journey of just researching and trying to understand the world from a religious point of view to, again, a personal development point of view. And I think all paths led to one place, and that one place being love really is the answer to everything. And I know it's such a simple saying, but it is quite ambiguous and it's quite detailed, especially, coming from South Africa and our sort of history and where that's, I'm one of the lucky ones that, didn't have to face the atrocities of apartheid in my country. And when I look at leaders like Nelson Mandela, and his contribution to what the peace sort of ambitions that they had at the time, to try and heal the planet, to try and find a place where we could all get along. I mean, what they had to go through, him learning to love himself in prison. I mean, he was a little more, I say, aggressive in the fight against discrimination in his younger days, but when he was in prison, he really got to a transformation that understood that the only way out was love, was peace, was understanding my neighbor, understanding where my neighbor comes from, what my neighbor is trying to achieve, speaking the languages of the oppressor. He went to those extents. I mean, wow. So for me, it's the only respect I could do is just to learn this kind of love, look at my heroes and say, you know what, their path definitely has so much gold nuggets. I want to try and apply it to myself. And that's how I find that, love is the answer, because it just opens the door to loving everyone else.
Thank you so much, Kenton.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow. That, I mean, I feel like we need time to digest just that, it's one thing to, I think, hear it. It's another thing to apply it.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
wow.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Kenton. We'll see you again in just a bit. And I would like
Thank you,
to
guys.
thank you. Up
Thank
next,
you.
So much love.
okay, so up next is an incredible artist from Brooklyn, New York. Let's welcome Smithsonian.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Whatever ancestral background is there, all of that collectively makes me Black.
Here comes another sunrise, traveling on this road again. It's the story of a broken heart, searching for an angel to come, a shooting star to light the way. I've been driving alone and driving for a while, just lost for now. It's me alone on this ride, and in the day I don't mind, but I stay up. It gets cold at night. I need somebody to hold. I gotta learn how to be on my own since I've been starting new. Seems like I got nothing. I got nothing left to do but right out of town. Oh, yeah. Oh, this open getting away. take all the pain away, make this heart brand new. Teach me how to love again, make everything alright. You got a smile that changes everything. Can you smile one time? Oh, smile. Can you just smile? Feels so much better when you smile. Oh, smile. Thank you so much. My name is Smithsonian, and I'm so happy to be here performing for you tonight. This platform, Woman of the World Knocks, Black Voices Amplified, is a beautiful series. Like I've seen some of the earlier episodes, and they're amazing. The performances are amazing. The messages are amazing, and I'm just so honored to be here. The song we just did was a song by Bilal called Lost for Love. He's one of my favorite artists. And the next song I'm going to do is an original. I wrote it during this quarantine season. Just my way of kind of getting out all my emotions and feelings about what's happening in the world. And I hope you enjoy. I have my good friend Adam Bonomo playing piano for me, and very honored to have him here. And yeah, we'll get into it. Sanity seems like nobody's got the plug for it. Desperately searching for some more of it. Feels like no matter what I do, it's not enough to survive in a cold world. Honestly, I'm not a pure perfect man, spending most of my time doing my best to understand what I wouldn't give for some of the answers in my hand. It isn't much, but I swear I'd give it all if you talk to me. Tell me the secrets, 'cause I'm in too deep. All that I know is changing constantly. So shed some clarity in my life as I'm on my way. So many teachings, but the truth is great. Guess I'm the only one at end of day. obvious for me to see the game is rigged. So much maneuvering around walls systemic. Sidesteps and pivots, avoiding the critics, racism and bigots. Don't fuck with me, I'm triggered. Won't you talk to me? Tell me the secrets, cause I'm in too deep. All that I know is changing constantly. I need some clarity in my life, as I'm on my way. So many teachings, but the truth is great. Guess I'm the only one at end of day to shed some clarity in my life, 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 oh, in my life, 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 in my life. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my
Thank you.
God.
Yes, yes,
Smithsonian.
Hello,
Your
everyone.
life in your life.
yes.
Whew.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, your voice and lyrics touched me so much, and you were so honest and vulnerable in your music. And when you share that you're struggling to find clarity in a way, it feels somewhat comforting because we can all relate. And I would like to ask, so far, what has been the biggest, most important realization you've had about yourself or to find clarity in your life?
First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. This is such an honor. Like the level of musicianship, and then also just the level of consciousness is just. I thank you so much. To answer your question, I would say that the most important thing that I've realized is that I'm a whole human being. And I say that because as a musician, I feel like sometimes I can get so caught up in my musical side, whether it be singing or drums or whatever it is. I can get very consumed by it. So when things like a pandemic happen, and all of my performing is just stripped away from me, it's almost as if like I'm struggling to know who I am at that point. Like, okay, well, who am I if I'm not performing, if I'm not in these studio sessions, if I'm not, doing all these things, then who am I?
Right.
And I think what I've learned throughout all of this, and actually over the past couple of years, this is something that I've been trying to emphasize in my life, is just pouring into myself, recognizing myself as like an entire individual. Like I have, like, whether it be like working out, like, or, focusing on my finances or learning to cook, like, all these different things, like these are, they sound like, oh, yeah, of course you have to do that. But, I don't know if there are any musicians out there that can relate, but I'm Grubhubbing every day. Like, it's like all these different, and it gets to a place where it's like, yeah, I just began to pour into myself. So just reading and just taking courses. Like, I've been taking mad internet courses to learn about finances and to learn about just all types of things. Like, I try to see this as an opportunity rather than like something that's happening to me. Like, I don't get to, perform anymore, but I get to, take these stock classes, or I get to learn about this, or I need to learn, like, whatever it is, and just pour into myself so that like it's not so heavily sided on the music side. Um, yeah, and I have more to offer to those around me in the world.
And probably cyclically back into your music from that.
I'm sorry, one more time.
And probably as a cycle, even back into your music from that.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Well, Smithsonian, you are amazing. You already know. I already told you how amazing you are. So thank you so
Thank you.
much for being here. And we will see you in just a little bit. We're going to talk some more about that.
Okay.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our next artist. Coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Give it up for Jay Horde.
Jay Horde!
American music is one of the best ever. Jazz, rock, blues, gospel, funk, all of it. Hello, my name is Jay Horde. Much appreciation to Women of the World for inviting me and allowing me to participate in this amazing series. I hope that you enjoy this song, the first song entitled I Would Be Nothing. And this second song is entitled Peace of Mind. The first song you heard was entitled I Would Be Nothing. And that was a dedication to my mother on Mother's Day, and she allowed me to share it with the world. And since then, I've dedicated to my father, to her, of course, and to all those that have, inspired me, and hopefully the dedication to anyone that has inspired you and actually been there for you, This song is called A Peace of Mind. Hope you enjoy it. The devil is a liar. I'm not going to be jaded. I'm going to have peace of mind. Dado, 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 the devil is a liar. I'm not gonna be jaded. Whether or not I make it, I'm gonna have peace of mind. Oh yeah. The devil is a liar. I'm not gonna be jaded. Whether or not I make it, I'm gonna have peace of mind. Oh yeah. The devil is a liar. I'm not gonna be jaded. Whether or not I make it, I'm gonna have peace of mind. Oh yeah. The devil is a liar. I'm not gonna be jaded. Whether or not I make it, I'm gonna have peace of mind. Oh yeah. The devil is a little. I'm not gonna be whether or not I make it. What are you gonna have? I'm gonna have peace of mind. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. What is the devil? The devil is a liar. Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna be jaded. Whether or not I make it. Yeah, I'm gonna have peace of mind. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What is the devil? The devil is a lie. I'm not gonna be changed. Whether or not I make it, I'm gonna have peace of mind. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Peace is better than riches. I heard 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 peace is better than riches. I'm not gonna be peace is better than riches. Whether or not peace is better than riches. I'm gonna have peace of mind better than riches. Oh, yeah. I heard the devil is a liar. Thank you so much, women of the world. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
I can't.
Great life.
I can't even with you. Like,
It's just
freaking
what?
A lot of fun.
Oh my God.
Jonathan,
Ah.
you just have raised our frequency. The devil is a lie. Let's be real. You just, your artistry. Oh my God. I'm so happy to know you. We go back. You know, we go back.
All of us.
All of us.
Dreaming.
Yes.
Sorry, all of us.
Back to Berkeley. So, Jonathan, one of the things when I was listening to your interview that it made a really deep impression on me was that you were sharing your experience about how difficult it was for you to fit in sonically. Like you were seen as either too jazz for gospel or too gospel for jazz. And I feel you. I definitely empathize with that. So what aspects of Black music and culture would you like people to know more about so that we can maybe change the perception of Black music and furthermore blur the lines between different genres, even for ourselves who are singing it? What do you think?
Um, I wrote down some things for that question. I want people to understand firstly that Blackness is varied. Tim said it earlier. You said it even, Debo, in your presentation. We, there are so many styles and so many styles in music, and so many types of Blackness. And I want people to remember that. I want people to remember that American music derives from the Black church. It started with Negro field songs from the slaves, then to Negro spirituals due to the AME church, and then outside of the AME church, you had house slaves that had to sing and go to church on the actual not house slaves, field slaves that went to sing on the actual plantation and all that. And so their services were a bit more Pentecostal and expressive and all that stuff. So you hear the wailing happening in the 20s in blues music with the horns, specific to Louis Armstrong, I believe, and I forget King Oliver. And you hear all these different ways that music, and specific to blues, then jazz, then rock. And as far as American music has been derived from the church. And I don't want people to forget that. I don't want people to forget that house music is literally usually Black women and or trans or queer men singing. It's songs that they sang from, Chicago. I want people to remember that, because I think if they don't remember, they don't know, and we know, having, many of us, again, I know you guys, and we shared some classes. Intro to Music Business let me know, thank God for John Kellogg. He broke it down that, until I think it was like the 70s or so, Black artists were played on one station. They weren't even allowed to be on FM stations. That's literally not a generation's worth, maybe a generation's worth. I don't know how long I can't remember how long when radio existed, but that's at least 20, 30 years worth of Black artists not getting paid the same amount of money as white artists. That's insane. That's insane. That's insane. That is like a literal disadvantage. So I want people to remember that, or to look it up and then remember it. And then as far as the blending of genres, due to Blackness being varied, life is varied, people are varied, music is the most varied, and it's super subjective. Some people love artists that I'm not the most fond of, and I love artists that people and friends of mine whom I love are not fond of. People are different. Music is universal, and I have to sometimes remember to not get upset, is that because music is universal, there is sometimes a sharing of the culture. Right? So sometimes you hear a Celine and it's like, why does this girl sound like Whitney? Sometimes like you hear certain singers, but then you remember, Bill, I think is, I can't remember his name, but Bela Fleck, he does the documentary and an album all about the banjo, and showing how like this instrument was shared. And he's hypothesis that it began in Africa, sure, but then we know from that, like I believe the sitar, the other string instrument. There's so many. The instrument, the Chinese one, I think it's like a one string. I want to say, like the string instrument is such a shared instrument in cultures worldwide. So music is universal. So it should not be any problem blending genres. It just shouldn't. And then from there, that's how I feel.
Yes.
That was a class. First, it was a class in vocal technique. Then it was a class.
Oh, says the queen of, like the queens of vocal technique right here. Like I'm looking at you all. Like I'm so. I wanted to say this too. Echo Tim. Thank you guys for this opportunity. Like women have always been super important and to movements. Any type of movement that has taken place in the world, usually it's the women who are doing it. I'm so grateful for your courage
And, people always talk about the hearts of women. Yeah, y'all got some beautiful hearts. But also, y'all will take somebody down. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate y'all. And I thank you for this. I truly thank you for this.
Jonathan. Oh, wow. Yeah, really. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being real, and just bringing your entire real self everywhere you go. So we love you. Really, really, we love you.
Love you back.
We
Forever.
will we will see you so soon. We have a lot more to talk about. So we're gonna bring you back with everyone else and continue to keep it real.
Perfect.
See you later, Jay Horde.
We have a woman, right, Annette?
We do. We have a very, very special surprise and a very, very special person. This is one of the women of the world. First of all, family. Secondly, or maybe even first, angel.
Oh yeah.
She's an angel.
She's
of women of the
family.
world.
She's angel.
And I want to say a word, but I think I'm not allowed to say it here. But she's just ridiculous, bombastically. Yeah. Okay. Think of the word that I want to say. Shall we do a drum roll?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Drita Protopapa.
Hello. Wait, I need to share one of my heads.
Oh my God. Oh, so she didn't actually hear anything that we said about her.
No, I repeated. I was like, family, and so she was there. Can you hear it?
Yes. I had to like, yeah. Hello, everybody.
Aww.
You, my sister.
Drita, actually, Georgia, you're in Drita's house today, right?
I'm in Drita's house tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. And Drita has been to probably every possible show besides Alaska.
I couldn't go to all the ones overseas.
Yeah, but
everyone that I
even
could go to.
at Blue Note in New
You
York.
drove down and last show, Drita surprised us with an amazing blessing and a gift and a donation, and then suddenly in the middle of today's show, Georgia texted us and she was like, Drita donated again, and we how fortuitous that Gio's in your house, and thank you for housing Gio, and thank you for being a mama bear.
Aww.
Really,
she's like my baby sister.
Thank you so much.
You all are. Thank you.
Kind of look like sisters right now.
Yeah, we do, right?
You do look like sisters.
Yeah,
Bye.
she goes.
But we want everyone to know Drita. We want everyone to know Drita, and she's such a powerhouse woman. In fact, you know what we should do? This is a shout out for also for Drita's company, Mapa Translations, and she works with Ria House. She works with immigrant women. She helps with displaced women, helping them to rebuild their lives, helping them to find jobs and livelihood, and just move on and move ahead in their lives, in sisterhood and in a community that she is building every single day. I mean, she's as real as it gets. We just love her. I don't know if you can figure out, but we just love her.
Indubitably, from the bottom of our hearts.
Oh, Okay, so are we ready, ladies?
We are
ready.
Okay, we would love to welcome our final act for the concert for tonight, originally from Alabama. Tonight, joining us all the way from London. Make some noise for Desmond Scafe Jr. Woohoo!
That heart, that experience in the music is the sojourn of those people, my people, blues people.
And thinking back when I was a child, everything so simple, everything so meek and mild. Oh, life's a funny thing. Time so go bring the change. Friend in the sky, tell me you've been watching. Friend in the sky, catch me when I'm falling. Friend in the sky, tell me can I see you again? Friend in the sky, I know you've been watching. Friend in the sky, catch me when I'm falling. Friend in the sky, one day I will see you again, again. Ooh. Heard you were saying, did you see the sweet old mama? The world's in so much trouble, we could really use a word from her. Oh, though you're not here, even with me, you live eternally. Friend in the sky, tell me you've been watching. Friend in the sky, catch me when I'm falling. Friend in the sky, one day I will see you again. Yeah, friend in the sky, tell me you've been watching me. Friend in the sky, catch me when I'm falling. Friend in the sky, one day I will see you again. Hey, my friend. Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Breathe on our queen. We're fighting with the powers that be. Breathe on we're waiting. If there ain't justice, there ain't no peace. No peace, no justice, no peace. If there ain't justice, there ain't no peace. Rihanna, oh my queen, we're fighting with the powers that be. Rihanna, yes, we're waiting. Oh, there ain't no justice, there ain't no peace, no peace, no justice, no peace. There ain't justice, there ain't no peace, no justice, no peace. There ain't justice, there ain't no This is the day, the time is now, when the spirit and the soul unite and take charge. No, I can't wait, I must obey Mother Nature's soothing voice that speaks to my heart. There've been mountains in the way, and life tried to test my faith. I've seen mothers left alone, and folks struggling on their own. But for love and memory of the man I the night I left New York. Talk with some friends, but family the most. It's a blessing to know you have a home, no matter where you go. But still to this day, hey, there's doubt in my mind. Oh, but I know if I've been wrong this far, I won't be left behind. Every mountain in the way, and life trying to test my faith. I've seen others left alone, more folks struggling on their own. But the love and memories of the man that I've come to be. Ooh, the night I left New York. Ooh, the night. Yeah, the night I left New York. The night I left New York. You walk, I stare, you laugh, I don't care. Don't be so shy, trust me, I won't lie. Hey, you think you big and bad, but I know where it's at. You can't run the game on me, 'cause I know just what you need. I know you want it, I know you need it. Just for the night, doing it right, you feel it. Know you can take it, and you won't fake it. Doing it right, just for the night, you gotta make it all this right. That's right. You think I'm wrong, that's why I wrote this song, to let you know this spot is good for the show. Hey, so what you wanna do? I wanna get you in the mood. You can't run, you can't on me, 'cause I know just what you need. I know you want it, I know you need it. Yeah, just for the night, swinging the night, feeling it. Know you can take it, and you won't break it. Just for the night, doing it right, we gonna make it. Yeah, baby. Can you get down? Yeah.
women of the world.
We were dancing. Like,
oh
my God. How y'all doing? Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad we're sitting down because I would have been on the floor by now.
Well, I'm glad it moved you. That means it touched something.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh, DJ. Wow. Okay. What a way to end the night. Also, that note.
Come on. Lift it up.
Oh my God. DJ. DJ. Wow, I can't even say your name anymore. It's like, this is just, my face hurts from smiling. It is a delight to welcome you back. Thank you. We're so grateful for you being the person that you are. And we're so delighted that we get an opportunity to introduce each one of you to, all these beautiful people from around the world who've stayed up or didn't go to sleep to just be here. And one of the things you shared recently, and many of us know you really well, but I had never heard you say this phrase. You said, "My people are blues people." And for our international audience, I think they would really benefit from a tiny glimpse. Who are the blues people? And then I have a follow-up question.
Okay, well, I got that from Amiri Baraka, who was a great poet and artist and African-American scholar. He's no longer with us, but he had a book called Blues People. And I took that term from his book, and he basically was saying that African descent people in the United States, the music, the culture, the food, all of that is predicated upon this response to what we were living here. And so that is the blues. That's how we get the blues. That's why the music sounds how it sounds, because those people's experience in the United States, African descent people, that's who blues people are. That doesn't mean that everybody, that doesn't mean that those are the only people that can have the blues. But those definitely are the people that came up with this idea and this art that has permeated the entire world. Blues.
Yeah, I feel you. And thank you for that distinction. I think it goes back to also what Jay Horde was saying earlier, that we can all, I mean, there's so many cultures that can own and celebrate it and honor it.
Oh, yeah.
So given that, right, on one side, there's this huge legacy, there's this heritage that you grew up with, that you inherited. On a personal level, though, one, do you ever struggle to figure out who you are outside of that heritage? And then also on a professional level, how do you balance expectations that people have about genres, about styles, the boxes that people have in their brains, in their minds, about what music should be? How do you let your true spirit come forth no matter what? And how do you disrupt that, while honoring it at the same time?
Well, my father, who's one of my biggest influences, even though he's not really a musician himself, he was the one that would get me up at 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday and say, "All right, I'll be back in 2 hours. You better have these songs learned." So one thing, but it was cool. We're good friends.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Love you, Daddy. I know he's watching. But one thing that my father always told me, and this is something that keeps me. Sometimes we'd be at church or wherever, and he would point to his heart like that. And he would do that at the beginning of a song or the middle of a song, and sometimes would stop me if I wasn't feeling it. And he would say, your biggest audience is God. And I can go further now that I've lived a little bit more and seen things in my life and say your biggest audience is that higher power, that higher energy source, that thing that we all can tap into. And so as long as I'm connected to that, I really do not care what people think, because I know that that source, that energy, God, Mother Nature, if you will, whoever you need to say that it is, that's something that is universal. That's something that loves and blesses all. And so if you can get up inside of that, it's going to be difficult. Things in life are going to, there's going to be trials. There's going to be setbacks. There's going to be people trying to size you up. There's going to be many of those things. But if you can center yourself and center your art and center your sound in something that doesn't waver, and in something that is all powerful, and you can really find out some great things about your art. And so that's really I think I answered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Awesome.
Good question. Thank you, Annette. That's a good question.
Thank you, DJ.
Thank you, DJ, so much. So please stay. And now we would like to end our concert with a time of reflection. So I would like to bring all of us back. Kenton, Smithsonian, Jonathan, please join us. And also Rohit, please come back, all of you.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Here
Great
we
job,
go.
all of y'all. Great job. Great job.
Yeah.
Oh my
Great
God.
job, you.
Yeah.
Great job, all of you.
You guys.
What a show.
You know what the
What a-
audience
what a
what
look.
what a cool look. I know.
I
And
love
what the
it.
audience
Yeah.
the audience doesn't see that actually we have a private chat that there is so much love in that chat, and now we're debating that from the next show onwards we should just publicize that chat because
Yeah.
it's amazing. So we love you. Mm.
Oh, love you back. Thank you.
Love you back.
Talking about the audience, it's a time for you, our audience, to ask the artists any question that you have, and please write them on the chat, either on Facebook or on YouTube, and we will read something out. Please.
Yeah. And we also wanted to have our audience reflect back. We asked you a couple of questions earlier, and we have slightly changed questions that we'd love for you to think about as you're talking. And maybe this will lead to some questions that you might want to ask. First of all, what surprised you about our 4 artists? Did you see or hear something that reminded you of yourself? Is there something about Black culture you now feel curious to learn about? And does the word Black conjure up any new images? While our audience is reflecting or sending their questions, Kenton, Smithsonian, Jonathan, Desmond, to start our discussion off, we are going to go we're just going to go somewhere, okay? Here's a question, and it is open for everyone to express themselves. In the world today, there is a lot of curtailing of freedom. And we would love to know from you, how do you adopt and practice freedom internally when it is not necessarily granted externally?
Don't you all raise your hands at once.
Well, one at a time.
Yeah.
I don't mind going. I think it goes back to everything I said, like in the beginning. For me, it's about the journey to continuously wanting to better myself, the journey of self-love, self-discovery. The more I can become, the more I'm efficient for the community around me. So I express that freedom within me by wanting and just expressing more, writing more of who I am, my truths, and hopefully that's inspiring for my family, my community, my country.
Yeah, I hesitated because at risk of sounding like a broken record, but as I said earlier, I feel like there's freedom in really just pouring into ourselves. It's a whole universe. You can't say it's a whole universe up here, in here, it's a whole universe. So much to explore, so much to learn about ourselves. I think we learn so much more about ourselves when we're put into circumstances that are challenging and new, uncomfortable. It's in that uncomfortable situation that you can really explore and find new ways of dealing with things and just learn about yourself. I really don't feel like there's an end to that, like that journey of just discovering and figuring out who you are. I don't feel like there's an end to that. So yeah.
No end. Yep. I agree. Another way for me is like how do you obtain freedom, or the sense of freedom internally when it's not given externally. Some things like yoga, for some people it's exercising, for other people it's like cooking. Also for us it's music, obviously, that's one way. But another way I find for me is getting to learn. I think Kenton was saying this earlier, and Smithsonian was just saying this as well. But to elaborate on it, getting to learn about other cultures, the more that I learn about other cultures, I see the similarities in ways that people have been oppressed. I learned about the Sikh culture, and how this beautiful religion that started out of the resistance of the caste system then ended with the assassination of, I believe it was Indira Gandhi, due to the radical side of it or whatever. But there's always some type, not always, unfortunately, there's always some type of something in human people and humanity, and it's odd. It's really odd. But the more that I get to learn about the ways that other people have suffered, or the ways that other people have resisted oppression, that helps me have a better sense of freedom for myself.
I would like to add to that. Freedom for me is not a destination; it's a mindset. And once you free, Harriet Tubman said, "I freed 1,000 slaves, but I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew that they were slaves." So that concept of who you are and loving who you are and having a goal in your life, those are the things that keep me free.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Gio, are there other questions from the audience?
Well, Rita asked, what do you want to share with young artists, Black artists who are trying to break into the music, like tips and advices?
Be yourself.
Yeah. Which is actually a trend that we discover. It's the third time that we do the Black Voices Amplified, and again and again we hear this, like, be yourself. And it's like it's a big statement, but it's we don't have to take it for granted.
No, well, historically, if I may, especially in the United States, historically they didn't want us to be ourselves. They literally did everything in the United States. They did it in Brazil. They did it in, I don't know what, I can't remember exactly what they did in Cuba, but I know in Brazil, people like the African slaves had to learn capoeira in order, I believe, to just learn how to dance, right? So they're fake fighting each other in order to dance.
Yeah, there's only one you.
Yeah.
So get that together.
Yep. And I think Jonathan froze for a moment, but we do feel that.
But with the hands on his heart.
For real. That's it.
And then also, and this is inspired by a lot of what Jay Horde has been saying, know your history. And that doesn't necessarily mean be your history. Learn it, take it, and create, from that, with that information, because it's meant to be there to inform your music. I think there's a lot of critique about music today, and I'm not gonna, get into all of that, but I think if we can encourage young people to check out that Marvin Gaye album, check out that, whatever it is, and just really internalize it, and then go back to your computer or whatever it is that you're doing with using to create, and create from that place. Because then I feel like if we can connect history to today, it creates a much richer future.
I love that. I love that.
So true.
Kenton, DJ, anything? And not
Those
to put
are two
you on the
big
spot.
ones. Be yourself and know your history.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
I know you.
Kenton and DJ are
Agreement.
in another time zone, so I feel for you guys.
Keep that in mind. Well, we want to ask you one more question. What change do you hope to see in the world as it pertains to racism directly or indirectly?
For my side, if I may, I think it's just celebrating our diversity, celebrating our differences instead of using them as weapons against each other.
Yeah.
Just like, I think that pretty much sums it up, because I know I'm going to repeat myself again, but just loving who we are, loving what we are and what we are contributing to this planet. So I think just being unified within difference.
Can I say one thing that I do want to see, and something that I think about often, is people of color, women, queer people, African descent people, not needing and not using Eurocentric ideals and tools to liberate themselves, but understand that we have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years of history and things that we've done and we've contributed to the world, and that there's more, like knowing your history, going back and understand that we can use that to fuel us. It doesn't have to push anybody out, and that we also can't build a beautiful house of progressivism and equality with using the master's tools of oppression. We can't use those same ingredients to have a nice salad, so I think that that's something that's very important, and that's knowing your history and being yourself. And it is much easier said than done, because it's not necessarily the easiest thing right now to do, but there is a brighter day ahead, and that brighter day may not be when our children are here, but the work that is being done right now, the work that was done by those blues people that came here, that were forced here, the work that was done by my parents and my grandparents is evident now. The work that we do and the work that I'm doing now will be evident in 50 years, and we have to keep going forward with that. But we have to remember that we have a beautiful history, and we have all held hands for a long time, and we need to keep doing that.
That's what's up.
Amen.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Knowing our history, applying it, making sure that our culture is brought forward from the backs of our ancestors, so to speak.
That's right.
That's right. Honestly, we could talk about this for hours. I feel like the four of you in particular, you're so amazingly rich in content when you speak. And, this is why we will continue doing sessions like this in the future. But I want to highlight in particular, Women of the World chose 4 Black men to showcase for tonight's show. Black men in society have been perceived as, intentionally or otherwise, they've been perceived as dangerous or violent or unintelligent. But I hope that our audience can see here tonight that from all 4 of you, you beautiful, wonderful artists, that perception of danger is so far from being true. Each one of you is stunning, complex, thoughtful, vulnerable, versatile, strong men in each of your own ways. So I want to take a special pause to thank each one of you tonight for not only showcasing what you do in your artistry, but also simultaneously breaking the misconceptions of Black masculinity, what that looks like, how we can all kind of sink ourselves into it. And I personally believe that we need to protect our Black boys and Black men. So thank you so much, so much, gentlemen, for being a part of this.
Yeah. Thank you, Women of the World. Wow.
Thank you, ladies.
Honestly, it's this kind of platform that helps to kind of dismantle those stereotypes about Black men. And honestly, I'm so this is so powerful to me. It's so powerful because even to go back to your question, what I would like to see is for people's minds to just change around what they think, what they see, what they feel when they see a Black person, when they are around a Black person. Like, you know, I don't want to have to change who I am so that you feel comfortable. Like, you know, and no one else should have to be that way. It shouldn't have to be. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to live in a world where we can be ourselves unapologetically without this without being concerned about whether someone else feels safe or not, you know. And it's platforms like this that can really help to reshape and reprogram people's minds so that, you know, we can live in a world where that doesn't happen. So I want to say thank all of you so much for having us. Like, this is so powerful.
It is.
Annette, I'm so sorry. I did want to mention one thing.
Yes.
I was inspired earlier today. I was watching it was a show that used to come on in the early 2000s, and it was short ran, but it was called "That's What I'm Talking About." And on this specific episode was Wayne Brady was hosting, the great Diane Carroll, Harry Belafonte, Toure, who used to be a personality, a Vogue artist, and Paul Mooney, the wonderful Paul Mooney. They were all on the show. And it was just a beautiful thing to see this intergenerational group of incredible Black artists who have given so much to not only to their art, but to the world. And this is where I'm getting ready to get into. And Harry Belafonte, who was the first he sold the first million-selling record in the world. A million copies. He's the first one to ever do that. And it was Dale. We say Dale.
Yeah.
So he did that. He founded UNESCO. He brought the first group of Kenyans to the United States, which Obama's father was part of it. He spearheaded the We Are the World project. Many of these things, as he was also one of the first Black men with a television show, doing all of his records, bringing Miriam Makeba to the United States. Many of those things. And he said to the other artist, Toure, who was speaking about, he said it to Wayne Brady, who Wayne Brady mentioned in 1968 when the Olympic stars put the fist up after King was killed. They put the fist up, and he said, well, Wayne Brady said, if these men were just on the sideline, no one would care, since it only mattered because they were in first and second place. And Harry Belafonte said, exactly. And that's what I'm going to tell you. It's not just enough to be an artist, or it's not just enough to be a singer, or not just enough to be an actor. Because you do have that platform, because you do have access, there is something else that you can do with that, the calling that you have, because it's much bigger than just the singing, than just the acting, than just the writing. There's a whole story in there, and you have a voice, and people are listening. And I think that is something that is so important for all artists, especially in a time right now where so many people are trying to force lies down our throats about the truth. And so, that is something that we artists have to bring back in a way, because that's what music is. That's what art is. It is a response to how we're really living. And so I just had to say that today. I was like, oh my God, that is it. That's the sermon for this afternoon.
Yes.
Tell it.
So, just want to just tell you that, and I'll send that to you if you want to watch it.
We would love that. And actually,
send that over.
This is something that we're doing differently this time. We've done 3 of these, and today, suddenly, kind of out of the blue, we felt, well, we talk about, this platform being much more than the music and the discussion. And this discussion is such a vital, integral part of why we do this. However, we also need to encourage more self-study and group dialogue, and give our global audience that cares to stay up till 6 a.m. or cares to tune in at 2 a.m. resources and pathways for them to better understand Black culture, Black history, and grapple with their own biases about Blackness, how they perceive Blackness, even the word Black, which is why we talk about this. And one of the new things that we're introducing today is that Kenton, Smithsonian, Jonathan, and TJ, Desmond, decided to share their personal recommendations on both documentaries as well as Black artists that we all ought to explore and know. And so, first up, here's the list of suggested documentaries by the 4 artists. We're going to read them out.
Yeah, we have first The Black Godfather.
And then Paris is Burning.
And Bleaching Black Culture.
And Miracle Rising, South Africa. And these are personal recommendations from our 4 artists tonight. And moving forward, yeah.
Yes, we have some musical selections and suggestions of Black artists that you can explore further.
Miriam Makeba.
We just mentioned.
Yeah.
Jasmine Horn.
Melanie Charles.
Michael Kiwanuka.
And Gwen Van.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, we hope that you'll check them out. We'll put them in the chat as well, so you can copy paste this and go watch, because we get better when we better ourselves. I think that's what Kenton has been saying, over and over again, and it's so true. So thank you. Thank you, gentlemen, for your suggestions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So once again, thank you to our 4 beautiful, beautiful artists. We want to remind you to please support them, follow them on social media, and donate to their PayPal. A very, very special thank you to our audience from all around the world. And please send us your feedback. We want to keep improving and growing. And of course, we are excited to continue this journey with you all.
We will be taking a short break. I don't know if anyone else feels this, but September and October were a little bit hard for us.
And November, oh boy.
Yeah, so we will take a short break before our next Knock Knock concert. However, we want to remind you that we now have, including tonight, 5 concerts featuring 4 artists each. So that's
Amazing.
20 artists that of content that is online forever on our YouTube and our Facebook channels. You can watch them again. You can still support these artists even if you watch post the show. You can share them with your friends and family. You can have these discussion points in your community, in your schools, in your offices, in your families, within your friend circle, even the people who disagree with you. Talk to them, because that's the way to move things forward. We cannot be only talking within our feedback loop.
No.
Our bubble.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
That is so true. And remember, these artists, we all need your support these days. So if you check out our live chat right now, we've shared the info for each of our artists here tonight, as well as for Women of the World, because you've seen just a small glimpse of what these fabulous gentlemen can do. I cannot sing your praises enough, guys. Like, you lifted our spirits, and you have so much more to offer to the world. And the audiences, please do check them out. Spend some time delving a little deeper into each of these artists' creative offerings.
And we will leave you with one very simple thought. There's an amazing TED Talk by a gentleman called Jay Smooth. And he says that working on matters like racism is like brushing your teeth. Working on matters like racism is not a one-time exercise. Also, I really love that Jonathan went out and bought floss.
Of course you did.
We asked for toothbrushes to make a point, and the dear Jay Horde, you went out and got it. So thank you. And yes, to continue this, working on matters like racism, ending racism, is not a one-time exercise. We do not brush our teeth just once in our life and say, okay, I did it, I have clean teeth. Every day, we chew stuff, we drink coffee, we eat peanut butter, we get spinach wedged in our teeth. We are living, evolving beings, and so we brush our teeth at least once a day, if not twice, as dentists tell us. And it is the same work we need to do to end racism. So let's keep at it. Let's keep brushing our teeth. Let's keep having dialogue. Let's keep educating ourselves. Let's give ourselves permission to make mistakes, because we will. And then let's keep moving forward.
Yeah. Let's give a final round of applause for our artists. Woo! And
Thank you.
Importantly, we want to thank 3 very dear friends who joined our world crew to produce the show. Our designer, Lydia Reynolds. Oh, Love you, Lydia. Our mastering engineer Simone Scazzocchio from Italy. Mwah. And our production manager Rohit J. Raman.
Yeah,
Row.
So Black Voices Amplified is part of the Women of the World Knock Knock Productions. To support this production, donate directly to our Women of the World PayPal account. And again, thank you all.
Yeah, thank you for making time for us.
Thank
We
you
love
guys.
you,
Thank you so
everybody.
much.
Love you.
Absolute
Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you. Thank you
Get
so
some
much.
rest.